Hello? 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 Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, literally, just now. Okay, folks, we are live. Hello, hello, it's Friday. Good to see everybody. Did you have a good week? Anything exciting over the week? And yes, the chat is coming up. I am working on it as we speak. But that's top. Do I have to renew the whole link if it's like, if I change it to live chat? I don't think so. Oh, no. It does it automatically. Okay, we're good. Ho hum. Hee hoo. I see Laura was in the chat first. Is Laura still here? Hello, Laura. Vibrational, good to see you. Cake Paul. Cassidy. Yes, Laura's here. Hello, Hyperborean. And Lee, hello. Cassie, one of our beloved moderators. Good to see you. That is good news. Laura has good news from her doctor. That's amazing. Doctor says kidneys are in better shape than they were a few months ago. And extremely happy with your weight loss. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Let's do some, let's see. Let's do some roses. We haven't done that for a while. Let's do some roses for Laura in the chat. These are good things. Focus. Focus, camera. On me. Me. My face. That's literally your job, is to look at my face. Not the chat. I mean the camera. Any other good news? It's okay if you have bad news, too. Lee got his car fixed today. You also got a haircut. That's amazing. I hope you post pictures. How was my week? My week was pretty busy. Yeah, just busy, hard, working on myself. I'd like to go into detail, but I want to keep it to myself for a while. But things are looking up, let's just say that. That makes it sound way mysterious. It's very benign, but like, yes, health is improving and things are going well. It is shadow season after all. Time for some expression and self-reflection. Shadow expressiones. That was really annoying. I annoyed myself with that one. It's pretty hard to annoy me, and I didn't like how like my tone of voice when I said that for some reason. It's just really insufferable. That was hilarious. Anyways, so I mean, keep telling me how your week is going. Let's see. On today's main topics, we are going to look into what happened. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the whole NFT, like, crypto club, like the Bored Ape Yacht Club and that whole business. If you're not familiar, don't worry. We will go over the basics. Anyways, they had a recent, like, live event. They thought they were having a good time. It didn't go as well as planned. So we're going to get into what happened because I mean, it sucks because, people did get harmed. And that's not what I'm laughing at exactly. It's just kind of like the irony of the thing. I feel like that's kind of like the same conversation I've had about when that submarine exploded. Nobody died, luckily. Hopefully not, anyways. And I thought we'd take a look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. I saw a really funny video that, like, Philip sent me, about her just kind of really getting after Republicans, which is pretty hypocritical of her. And then, just recently, Virginia voted in a first open trans senator. And I know nothing about her, so I thought we would take a look and then just kind of go over, like, I'm like, how many transgender people are in politics? And then we're going to catch up with just trans bills that have passed or been denied recently. Maybe a tiny little Trump update. God, it's so sick of it, but there's a lot going on with that. I was so refusing, like, to put Trump into the thumbnail today. I'm like, enough. Fucking enough of that. At least for this week. It's gonna happen again. Because we have to keep up with that, unfortunately. Hopefully it'll come to an end. So, these will be pretty simple topics. We're not doing a lot of deep diving today. And when all is said and done, if we still have energy, we may just, like, browse briefly for just simple videos to catch up on or react to. Jan is my Trump news source. Philip is my Trump news source, so... It's pretty, like, I don't know. I guess it's easy to have it filtered through a friend and not that it becomes, not in a way that where, like, it's just so overwhelming and, like, who the hell, like, wants to sit there and Google Trump all the time? So it's easier to hear from, like, somebody else or through somebody else. Hey, MC Heavyset. What in the fuck? Anyways. So, raise of hand. Oh, wait, no. I was going to say who is familiar with... I can ask that. We're not going to quite dive in. We're still going to wait just a little bit for people to come in. Please like the live stream if you haven't. Who is familiar with Bored Ape Yacht Club? Like, which, like, are you or are you not? Like, 1 in the chat if you are, and 2 in the chat if you are not. Familiar with the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Not. Not. 1.5? That's legit. It's like, I mean, I guess that's legit if you're like you kind of know what it is. Oh, Susan! Wait, is Susan here? Yes, Susan's here. Wait, where is Susan? Susan says howdy. I don't know why you just kind of blended in. I guess because like your icon and Kate Paul's icon kind of like just if your eyes are a little bit blurred, it's like the same brownishness. Like it just kind of like plus I need new glasses, like really bad. Like better ones. Oh no, making things bigger does not help for the chat. It just makes it like stacked smaller. Anyway, Susan is one of our moderators. Hello, Susan. Technically, I'm supposed to be wearing like reading glasses, but most of the time I do not. And then I just get like cheap reading glasses that are almost what I need. And then I throw them around and they get lost, scratched. Anyways. Your kid, Kate Paul's kid, has pink eye. Okay. I'm sorry. Anyway, so it seems like you guys don't know what Bored Ape Yacht Club. You know what NFTs are, right? I guess, let's see. Bored Ape Yacht Club is sort of like just like a series of NFT images of cartoon drawings of bored looking apes. And I think where is there I think this is the official site. Fuck NFT, leave me alone. I ain't no I'm not into crypto bros. Get out. NFTs, oh my god. If you don't know what NFTs are, it's like now NFTs are that's a whole other like fucking subject. It's a form of like cryptocurrency. It's a non-fungible token. It's almost like you pay for nothing. Like you don't even own the rights to the image. Like you pay for pretty much nothing. You get a receipt for nothing. It's like it's like buying a star. It's like go to a website and buy this star, and then you have the star named after you. It's like really like it's such a novelty thing, but there's a lot of money invested into these, and more so, I guess there's like a only a certain number of these available, and if you buy one, you get access to like other like clubs or special events and things. I mean, it kind of sucks that these kinds of concepts got really used badly by like just a lot of scammers and stuff. Because there's some potential where it could have gone well for primarily artists, but that's even a whole other conversation. Anyways, so people are purchasing these, and it's really popular. Even some celebrities have posted these. So supposedly, if you go to these special events, you're gonna meet a celebrity and things like that. Like bullshit. It's just a total waste of money. So what's the point of buying them? They're a status symbol. They're a status symbol. It's, you're really fucking cool if you have one. This is how I can tell that Laura is just too mature for the internet world. just, just the, oh, for fuck's sakes. That's like, Laura just has way too much wisdom to even begin to conceptualize that shit. Oh shit, I have to take my meds. That is funny as hell. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Hey, Altair. What's the point of buying anything you don't? Status. I mean, it's why people have to get the brand new iPhone, with the exception of people who actually use their iPhones as tools and stuff like that. I have a really old iPhone. Actually, it's so beat up and cracked up and shattered and stuff, and like the home button doesn't even work. I really should buy a new used phone, a new old phone, if that makes sense. Like, whenever I upgrade my phone, it's never to the newest model, it's always to just like something slightly above grade. It works for me though. I have like a iPhone 8, like the big one. The big one. The 8. Like, look how cracked it is. And yes, that's a Loppy sticker. I have a shitload of these Loppy stickers, by the way. Like, a ton. In fact, I should just start sending them out to, like, some regular viewers. If anybody wants a shit fuck ton of Loppy stickers, let me know. You miss Loppy? I miss Loppy too. I was thinking about Loppy lumps today. And I really like the sort of like pom-pom ball thing I do with yarn, but like at the same time I'm like it's not enough justice, like, and it's so much time for just like a piece of pom-pom and like yarn. So I'm thinking about actually getting into making some plushies that's like still a ball, with the tail and like the mane and the horn, like still the same concept, like shape conception concept. What the fuck? But yeah, I miss Sloppy too. Anyway, oh my god, we totally got distracted. Anyways, so Board 8 Yacht Club, a very, I don't know, did they do this recently with these blindfolds? Because I'm really curious. Is this on purpose? Anyways. So, they had an NFT festival in Hong Kong. The Board Ape Yacht Club, the collective that hosted the 3-day event, said it was investigating possible causes, including UV lights used at a party on Saturday night. So basically, what happened is a lot of people at this concert went home or whatever, or back to their hotels, and started reporting and like feeling their eyes burning because, and I don't know how this got past production, and I honestly still am not clear of the details, but what I'm thinking or assuming or speculating is that there was intention to have like a really just a black light, and there's even like UV lights that are not so harmful, but there's UVB lights, right? That actually have like sun in them. It's like in the tanning bed, essentially. There's like UV colored lights, and then there's like actual hardcore UVB lights, and that shit will fucking sunburn you if you stand in it too much. So these lights were at a party, stage level, eye level, I think, and yeah, they burn the shit out of their eyes. Like, you're supposed to be wearing like UV protected. Like, people got like sunburnt, but like in their eyeballs, like to the point where they couldn't even fucking see. So, anyways, more than 20 people have reported burning eye pain and vision problems after attending a party for. The gathering was part of Ape Fest, a 3-day event hosted by Bored Ape Yacht Club, a group of cryptocurrency enthusiasts who own unique digital images of primates that cost tens of thousands of dollars a piece. Tens of thousands of dollars. And they don't even own they don't technically own the image. They don't own the rights to the image or anything. It's just like it's nothing. It's just a novelty. So, Yuga Labs, the parent company of Bored Ape Yacht Club, is in contact with 22 people who had eye problems after the event, said Louise Conroy, a spokeswoman for the company. We are very interested by these reports. Ms. Conroy said in an interview, adding that Yuga Labs was working with an independent firm to investigate the claims. Regardless of the outcome of the investigation, we intend to do the right thing by our community members. People are, like, blind. So, although the exact cause of the symptoms had not been yet determined, she said, there were some potential culprits. At this point, we're looking into fluorescent paint in one of our setup areas, and most definitely looking at UV light. No, it was UV light. An estimated 2,500 crypto enthusiasts gathered at Kai Tak Cruise Terminal on Saturday night for a night of drinks and music and mingling at the end. Ended just after 11 p.m. Kid named Adrian, 30 years old, a cryptocurrency trader who lives in Portugal, said that a sharp, fiery sensation in his eyes awoke him around 4:30 the next morning, and that feeling would not go away no matter how many times he rinsed his eyes with water. He said it felt like microwaving your eyes. Could you imagine? I think I've gotten some, like, not exactly my eyes sunburnt, but I don't know if anybody's ever grown up or if you're around a place that, like, snows a lot, but it's like I feel like I wear my sunglasses more when it snows because it's so bright, it just burns your eyes. There's gonna say shit things. Oh, NFT art gets worse. Like, we're talking like people will literally like scribble a turd on there and it will sell. But it's not quite as sustainable as these days. I don't think so. I've never gotten into the market of NFTs, nor do I want to. These are things I wish not to do. No, 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 no. Oops. The focusing on my camera is so shitty lately. I don't know what its dealio is. So, are we getting a little bit more of an idea? let's segue a little bit. I thought I had more about... I know there's something really weird about a lot of like the marketing and logo work for Bored Ape Yacht Club, where people have been finding like parallels between that and sort of literal Nazi like symbology. That sort of shit. Which, of course, I mean, why not? No, I am so not about that. I think one of the actual Bored Apes were named after, like, some well-known Nazi figures, too. I believe, yes. A few, in fact. Bored Ape Nazi Club. Oh, wait. I don't know if we'll watch this, though. We'll watch some of it.
This is the most entertaining, fascinating thing that's happened in the NFT space. I can't think of the last time I was this intrigued by something non-financial.
I don't know if I want to watch you. Let's try watching some of this.
It's unethical, the practice of having inside jokes that are so fucked up to people who don't even understand them, and basically making fun of people to their face, right? To me, that's really what's fucked up, and it's more.
There's no
it's actually
subtitles,
more.
by
To
the
me,
way.
that's the crime here. The crime isn't that
my
they're not
arms.
they're racist, which they might be. And I'm sure they are accelerationists who are people who are just basically nihilists who don't give a fuck and want to see the world burn. And like, to me, that's probably a worse thing than being anything, because you really are anti-human and you're selfish.
When did this release?
What if I told you
just
that
last
one of the
year.
most successful NFT collections in the world was pulling off the biggest troll in internet history? No, not convincing people that this ugly shit is art or that it has any value. What if I told you that hidden within Bored Ape Yacht Club was a series of 4chan trolling, racist imagery, and white supremacy dog whistles? And with a deep understanding of cipher and cryptography, the founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club are making a mockery of the entire world, pulling the strings of the global elite, including celebrities, athletes, actors, and influencers. This story is extremely complicated for many reasons. The problem with accepting the truth I'm about to tell you is that you have to have extensive knowledge of 4chan, internet culture, and symbolism.
Kind of extensive knowledge. I mean, if you don't know what 4chan is, it's just a website that's a forum website that's not morally regulated. We'll just say that. It's not morally regulated. You can say what the fuck ever, post what the fuck ever you want, and in some people's cases, it's a source of hell. But a lot of celebrities got into this. I think this is kind of a failed project now, but I'm not into the culture of NFTs. I just sort of neckbeard nest. Sorry, I got really distracted by that. So yeah, it's just a very nasty, nasty forum with really mean, nasty people
To even wrap your head around this and understand the motive.
that have successfully ruined people's lives, by the way.
The most important fact I'm about to tell you that you must remind yourself as we go along is that the entirety of Bored Ape Yacht Club is esoteric. By design, it is only meant to be understood by a select number of people with specialized knowledge. And, as you can see here, it is considered based when others with that knowledge connect the dots. Almost all of the absurdist references present in Bored Ape Yacht Club are glaringly obvious to the in-crowd and are invisible to anyone who isn't terminally online. I might as well be speaking a different language if I don't prime you on every aspect of this elaborate cipher. Combine this with Bored Ape Yacht Club being valued at over $1 billion, and you have yourself the gold medalists of the Troll Olympics. I had my doubts about all of this. That was until I spoke with one of the top creative directors and internet artists in the world, who is an expert of internet culture, 4chan, and trolling. An artist who has worked with Kanye West, Grimes, and Tame Impala, among other creative projects that you've definitely seen. January.
Internet culture is a really weird, bizarre beast. Kind of a frightening beast, if you ask me. When you have, like, the whole human collective unconscious, there's some dark corners and rooms and chambers and whole catacombs, even. But, you know, in the true spirit of shadow work, unless we face these things, they'll never get improved, brought to light, and then improved, tamed, etc. If not tamed, then funneled somewhere where they do the least destruction.
(2022), a website goes live called GordonGoner.com. Signed at the very bottom was the signature.
Laura's like, I almost don't want to use the internet anymore, ye gods. You know, the internet that you know of, that you can, like, access through your regular browser, that is actually, like, a very small percent of the internet. Like, most of the internet is stuff that you can't access casually. And that's where you get into, like, the deep web, the dark web, things that you have to have, like, particular ways of accessing. You have to know what you're doing. And that's when you get into, like, really, like, weird shit, like being able to buy drugs on the internet and worse things. Certain kinds of material, you know, that are very frowned upon. Laura's like, can't we just send a bunch of crazy people and stupid people to somewhere like, I don't know, hell? Well, it might be a little hypocritical of us. But, I mean, we're talking about Bored Ape Yacht Club. We're not going to have, like, a conversation of what to do with the most horrible people in the world, because I don't fucking know right now. I don't have an answer for that. Whatever you want. To the gulag, I don't know.
Signature of Ryder Rips. Ryder Rips is eccentric and is a trendsetter in every regard. He created the Deal With It meme, Dump FM, Internet Archaeology, and V-Files. When it comes to the internet, Ryder Rips is one of the most innovative artists of our generation. It's no secret that he uses internet culture and the nature of trolling to amplify his artistic messages. If there's anyone to educate others on iconography and the meaning behind art, it's Ryder Rips. And if I happen to be the founders of an NFT project manipulating the masses into asserting value on racist imagery, I would not fuck with him. For the past 6 months, Ryder Rips and other researchers have collected all of the data and sources that highlight Bored Ape Yacht Club's successful but depraved continued stunt. And I say continued because they still operate unchecked. 4chan is the gutter of the internet. Founded in 2003 by 15-year-old Christopher Moot Poole, this message board serves as a place where internet culture is born discussed, and destroyed. Users on 4chan typically post as anonymous or anon. As they argue, the identity of a user adds nothing to conversations at hand. But the collective anonymous culture of the message board has devolved into a degenerate pit of despair. Along with anonymous identities, there is virtually no moderation. As a result of this, threads on 4chan spiral into some of the weirdest and most disturbing rabbit holes on the internet.
Yeah, people can just, you know... There's kind of an art to moderating, like, a conversation, or just, you know... Because if you let... Like, you can't really let people derail the conversation and then, like, create some sort of, like, mass psychosis, like, dragging everybody down. You know what I mean? Like, you got to keep things straight and focused. So if with no moderation, it's just, like, I feel like it's just sheer collective unconsciousness running rogue. Okay? There's nothing wrong with expressing yourself, but it's, like, it's got to be in, like, a really rational, reasonable, collective, productive way. Even if it's things about yourself that aren't really, like, great to express. Like, maybe deep down inside you really want to be an asshole. Well, you can express that by, I don't know, playing video games or something. You know, you can be an asshole there and it's anonymous. I mean, it's literally a video game. What are you going to do? Hurt somebody on a video game? Like, that sort of like, you got to find shit to, like, express parts of yourself that's appropriate. Anyways, 4chan is a place I dare not go. I'm not afraid of it, I just don't want to participate in that. To me, it would be like, I don't know, taking a trip down to the sewer. Down to the mind sewer. Sewer of the mind.
So why even post? Well, as Ryder Rips described to me, trolling is a sport on 4chan. This point alone is necessary in understanding the motive behind Bored Ape Yacht Club. Throughout the internet's history, 4chan has been responsible for trolling mainstream media endlessly. One classic example of this was when 4chan tricked mainstream media into thinking the OK hand symbol signified white power. The media ran with it, and as a result, actual white supremacists adopted it as their own. An internet joke that illuminated a problem with mainstream media, their willingness to post anything, was taken literally, and the meaning of the joke changed forever. Another example of this is comedian Sam Hyde being the ghost of Kiev. Lastly, let's talk about the benefit of the doubt. Imagine all of what I'm about to tell you is one giant coincidence. Somewhere along the grocery list of examples of Bored Ape Yacht Club being one massive alt-right inside joke is a point at which these similarities are no longer coincidences. Let's call this the tipping point. If I bring up one instance that highlights deliberate Nazi, fascist, or alt-right messaging, you may think to yourself, I see it, but that's a reach. So I ask you, what is your number? At what point do all of these examples become crystal clear in front of your eyes? For me, it was just one. First, let's talk about the apes as a whole. You don't have to look far on social media to see that many people believe the apes in Bored Ape Yacht Club are inherently racist looking. Remember, they could have picked any animal, object, or thing to make an NFT project. Monkeys? Really? It seems a bit random, but we're dealing with deliberate messaging. This is not a mistake. This is Damon Dash, the founder of Rockefeller Records with Jay-Z.
And then
I guess I need more information on it because I don't... But aren't humans and... I mean, wouldn't... I'm not trying to give credit to Bored Ape Yacht Club at all. Like, I'm not trying to defend them by any means, but I'm just thinking, like, isn't that just, like, representative of some form of humans in general, not necessarily of any race? But there is a lot of, like, racial history that involves people comparing certain people to apes. So it's like, I need more information, but right off the head, I'm like, is that, like when you just look at it, it's like, are they trying to represent a certain race, or is it just like a human race in general? And it's like, is that racist? I don't know.
I don't know if that monkey thing is like, because what's the biggest NFT? It's the ape. Don't you think that's a little condescending to our culture in a little bit?
We was just talking about that.
I feel like, is that a way a nerd is trying to get cute and laugh at us?
We was just talking about that.
I
Because
must be
either way,
missing
you should tread
something.
lightly with monkey as it relates to our culture because it's a trigger for us. And they keep doing it. So first I wasn't like, and then I was like, why is everything a gorilla or a ape or a monkey? Why ain't it a penguin or like a panda bear or something? Why is it something that's been used to, disrespect us for years? So I don't know,
Yeah.
And when language is difficult for a creative, that leaves a lot of room for exploitation. So that means a lot of people that can understand may take advantage of those creators that don't want to understand.
You guys realize for the last 2 years,
Lee says you have to keep in mind this is the culture of trolling. I think that's what I'm missing. And probably, I mean, it's good to be aware, but probably for a good reason I'm missing it, because I don't look into deep internet trolling lore stuff. Like, if I see somebody being offensive, like, I get rid of that. Like, I delete that from my fucking presence. Especially because there's so much of it on the internet. Like, there's just so many, like, awful racist trolls. It's like, Jesus Christ, can't you be normal?
they got black people to invest in money.
I didn't mean to get started, like, I honestly didn't plan to, like, get into this video, but it's kind of, like, sucking me in. I don't know about you all. Especially where the other two topics just, like, none of these topics are really that long. One, to keep going, two, to skim. Skim and wrap it up, I don't know. I'm on the fence. I could keep watching this, honestly. As long as YouTube doesn't cock block us for it. That would be the only drawback. Imaginista. It's Elise. Hey, Elise. Good to see you. Another one of our wonderful that thing you do, moderators. I don't know why I had a brain fart just then. I admit, I'm definitely, there was a time many moons ago, many years ago, darlings, there was a time when I felt really on top of internet culture, and I think that's just being an old millennial, because we were just kind of the pioneers of things like MySpace and Facebook and things like that, and YouTube was kind of starting then, but it wasn't as popular. Now, we didn't have Instagram, we didn't have TikTok, I don't think, how old is 4chan? Did I miss that detail? How old is 4chan? I think since 2003. Yeah, that would be like right in that area where like we're pioneering like the whole like internet culture. But I remember using 4chan as ways to watch anime that you couldn't like find anywhere else. Like, I do remember being on 4chan, but I never explored it as an actual website. It just happened to be the website where I found a lot of anime episodes and stuff. So, but nowadays, I'm like, where was I going with all this? I'm like, oh yeah, okay. So, but nowadays, there was a point where I just couldn't keep up anymore, and probably because it just expanded so much. And now these days, the Zoomers, Zoomers, Z generation or whatever, they've got like a whole different attitude, flair, something, I don't know. Back in the early days of the social medias, when we HTML coded on our own, we had MySpace profiles with automatic song plans. You didn't know where the hell to turn that off. I knew a special code to hide that. It was my theme song, you see. It was by Fall Out Boy. It was the best. Those were the times. Who did I just become? I'm an old millennial. I like avocado toast.
Keys and dogs, while making fun of us and taking our money from us. But Doge was going to the moon. When y'all get done, go look at Bored Ape Yacht Club and go see the imagery of how it's connected to Nazism. It's damn near the same imagery, but they know we won't study long enough to say, and now look how many billions of dollars they made off of us and our culture, and then the music industry gonna come in with more NFTs and continue to rob us. All we need is us.
The reason people have made this conclusion is because of something called simianization. This refers to comparing ethnic groups to an...
I think that's the other thing I'm missing too. I didn't realize that this was mostly being marketed to black people. That definitely changes things. In which case, yeah, you could have used a penguin, a pen, or some shit, like something else, anything else. What city do I live in? I don't want to fucking say. Thank you, though. Sorry, I'm like so distracted by this paper towel that I'm making into some like origami. I don't know what the fucking what.
Ape or monkey. Simianization has been used throughout history to put others down in order to dehumanize them. You will see exactly how Bored Ape Yacht Club uses simianization to convey racist themes and undertones. But first, we must understand the culture in which these apes were born. In 2021, Bored Ape Yacht Club was launched on April 30th. Which is the exact day that Hitler died. The launch of Bored Ape Yacht Club was actually on the 23rd with a week-long pre-sale, and they sold out before the 30th. However, they made it a point to tell the New Yorker that it was the 30th. I have shown this picture to various artists.
That's weird.
This is Bored Ape Yacht Club's main logo that they use across all of their branding and social media accounts. Not too bad, right? How about now? Most of them laugh uncomfortably in sheer disbelief. The audacity.
Now that is a choice. I will say. That is a choice. Why am I afraid of such a detail? You're not picking it up? Oh, I just don't want to say. I'm not afraid of shit. I just like my life private, that's all. I live in a small town area.
To do this is mind-blowing. It does not take a genius to see that this Bored Ape Yacht Club logo is a direct copy of the Totenkopf. The skull and bones represents death and was used by both Prussia and Nazi Germany as a military emblem representing death heads. I only mention Prussia.
Lee, I think if you change your chat to like live chat versus top chat, you can like see other people. I miss people all the time.
Because that will play out later when we examine some of the
look,
bored
Nazi
apes.
stuff.
Both logos also have 18 teeth. If you're unfamiliar, the alt-right, white supremacists, and neo-Nazis love alphanumeric code. The number 18 is a symbol of hate. More specifically, it's alphanumeric code for the initials of Adolf Hitler, 1 being A, 8 being H. One thing to note is that both logos also have a rough edge, which is uncommon in circular.
I guess it's got to be like an actual archetype of a type of person or mentality where like where you think it's just like it's funny, like it's just really amusing to you, and that's like that's how you're looking through it, right? Like that's your blinders. You're like, this is just funny because it's offensive. And there's some people in the world that they just like to be contrary for the sake of being contrary, for the sake of being offensive. And if they offend you and make you, upset, then they're really happy about that. But it's like, what kind of life is that? I guess they're having a good time, obviously. Like, why do they crave doing it so much? I think a lot of the people that purposefully do this stuff, it's not a matter of them not understanding. Like, it's almost like I feel like they know exactly what they're doing, and it's that decision where I wonder, it's like, what benefit does that give you? I don't know. I really
emblems. It's just
know.
another characteristic that demonstrates they knew what they
Shadow
were copying.
possessed,
Bored
yeah.
Ape Yacht Club was created by a company.
Yeah, shadow possessed. Shadow possessed. When you become so possessed by your shadow, I mean, you are your shadow incarnate. Now, there's a difference between shadow expression and shadow possession. If you don't have constructive, rational times and ways and places, ways of expressing your shadow, it's going to find a way out anyways. And when it does, it's going to take over you and it's going to ruin your life. And some people don't do any work, they don't do any thinking, and they get so overwhelmed by their emotions and their need for something, I don't know, their need to cause pain or their need for revenge or whatever. They become literally possessed by their anger and their need for whatever it is they want, cause harm on somebody else. They become that. They become that incarnate. That's not good. I like to be nice. I don't know. I'm nice when I'm nice, and then I'm not nice, but...
Company called Yuga Labs. Like everything in this project, the name has meaning. A little bit about us to start off the new year and what's coming. What's the inspiration behind the name Yuga Labs? We're nerds, and Yuga is the name of a villain in Zelda whose ability is that he can turn himself and others into 2D art. It made sense for an NFT company. When I heard this, I was confused. I've played just about every Legend of Zelda game, and I could not remember for the life of me who Yuga was. You see, Yuga is a boss in The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, the 17th installment of the Zelda franchise, available only on the Nintendo 3DS. If you're a self-proclaimed nerd or gamer, you wouldn't source your name from the most obscure Zelda game ever, let alone a game for the 3DS. Everyone knows that Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and even Breath of the Wild are the greatest games in the franchise. I could believe Ganon Labs, after the main antagonist throughout the
okay, where are we going with
entire
this?
series, Ganondorf, but Yuga? I'm not buying it. There is a specific reason they picked the name Yuga. On Yuga Labs' website, they pay homage to another project called the Hash Masks. This project was made by a Swiss company known as Suum Cuique Labs. This phrase, meaning to each their own, was on the gate of the Buchenwald concentration camp. This phrase was also used on the face of Prussian helmets. And Yuga Labs loved Suum Cuique so much that they even took their exact terms of service. Yuga has an entirely different meaning. The phrase Kali Yuga stems from Hinduism, and it refers to an age of conflict or darkness.
What is the period we're in now? Because it seems like it's coming to an end.
This is
Oh, no,
Kali
not
Yuga,
Alex
man.
Jones.
This is
Ew,
some
no,
weird
or
shit that was
Blair White.
predicted by the
Ew.
Bhagavad Gita. This is like this.
Guder
is the end of
Damarong,
times.
Battle of the Gods,
Yeah.
Ragnarok. Tell me.
This is what happens in
Chill,
cultures.
Rogan, of
like they
course.
go through these pitches, these ups and downs.
The earliest mention of this phrase in internet culture was on September 11th, 2014, by an anonymous user on 4chan, in response to people being upset over Gamergate. Anon replied, "I know it is dark at times, but you just gotta learn to enjoy it, man. Embrace being the bad guy. Surf the Kali Yuga." Since then, the phrase spread like wildfire among
Surf
the
the Kali
alt-right.
Yuga?
First, it was made into a t-shirt by Vincent Vauquelin, who founded the French
Wow.
Dissent,
Yeah.
an alt-right political
Yo,
party that
this
operated from
is
2011 to 2020.
Straight up embracing shadow. This is like these people just really just want to think that way. They feel demonized if people push back, and then it's like, oh, we gotta band together for freedom of speech. We gotta surf the wave. We gotta just embrace it. Like if they think you're the bad guy, play it. Like this is very demonic, kids. Very archonic. You know, this is the archons at work, and I mean like metaphorically. I don't actually believe in those beings, but I believe the archetypal like representation of that. Like this is archonic. Like this is how we get. This is demonic. This is where people become shadow possessed, and then it leads them to Nazism. I've seen it happen to the best.
21. Apparently, alt-right meme merch went hard, and the new design of the shirt in 2016 featured a toting cough. And in 2019, a Telegram group called Kali Yuga Surfing Club was created. See anything weird here? The Kali Yuga is...
This is the kind of dumbass. Let me go back to where was that shirt? This Kali Yuga shirt or whatever. This is This would be something that, like, I'm so naive about. Like, I would see a shirt like that in a fucking, this doesn't really strike my fancy, but, like, I would see that in, like, a secondhand store, like a thrift store, and I'd be like, oh, look at this cool t-shirt with a skull, or, like, look at this cool surfing t-shirt. It's like, and then you just have no idea what the fuck it means. Oh my fuck. I'm gonna like question everything now on every t-shirt. Because that looks like something I'd find in a secondhand store. Like at a Goodwill or something.
a Telegram
That is like, I just like unlocked a new fear.
group
Accidentally buying like controversial t-shirts.
called Kali Yuga Surfing Club was created. See anything weird here? The Kali Yuga is one of the cornerstones of traditionalist ideology that was preached by René Guénon, a French occultist and philosopher who is credited for introducing the Kali Yuga to the West. During his life, Guénon moved to Egypt, became Muslim, and preached traditionalism, which consisted of extreme anti-Semitism and an admiration for ancient societies, which included hierarchies of class and gender. Guénon and Italian-born Nazi sympathizer Julius Evola are both revered and memed on 4chan. You'll find threads in the literature and political boards placing these two on a pedestal and recommending their works for a sense of woke pseudo-intellectualism. Often messages will be left with PBUH, which means peace be upon him, a common Arabic phrase. You see, surfing the Kali Yuga manifested itself on Pole. It became a repeated phrase and dog whistle among users. In fact, embracing the darkness, or surfing the Kali Yuga, is a phrase that the alt-right has adopted in order to communicate a sense of collective. This might melt your brain, but stay with me. It's impossible to show the masses exactly what the founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club are doing without understanding Chan culture, or how 4chan acts as a think tank and hive mind. One of the worst aspects of Chan culture is pseudo-intellectualism. What you have is a bunch of trolls who haven't seen the light of day, that have collectively convinced themselves they are based, woke, and have the answers to this world. They find solace in knowing specific information compared to normal people, or normies. This is why it's considered esoteric. As a result of this, you have pockets of deranged people who study old texts, scriptures, and societies in order to extract archaic values and worship them. The founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club are terminally online, smart.
That it just sounds like most philosophy groups on Facebook. Like, it's so exhausting. Like, the back and forths, the philosophizing with people that, like, barely fucking know anything. I barely know anything, so it's like, what the fuck are we all doing? Like, what are we doing with our time?
Assholes. I hate to admit it. The founders are clever, and I mean really fucking clever. The 4 founders are Gordon Goner, Emperor Tomato Ketchup, Gargamel, and No Sass. You may be wondering, why do they all have obscure Xbox Live gamer tags? Well, if you think this is innocent, you're not ready for this. Number 1, Emperor Tomato Ketchup, Karim Adelaide, software engineer. On the surface, Emperor Tomato Ketchup sounds like a Fortnite skin. In reality, Emperor Tomato Ketchup is the name of a 1971 film that is banned across the world for containing child pornography. It's about children overthrowing adults and establishing their own supremacy, in which a young boy in a fascist uniform sexually assaults a grown woman. And if you were to ask,
things I didn't need to know existed at all. What the fuck? What's wrong with people? Like, what is wrong with people? Like, why? Like, honestly, like, with the information we've received so far, like, I mean, the lengths you'd have, this isn't surface level trolling, like, haha, Nazi stuff, like, where something kind of looks like a swastika or something. Like, this is really doing some research and some digging. And it's like, well, obviously you've seen that film, although why would you fucking reference that? Like, that's not something you just, like, pulled out of your ass. It's like, but you know people aren't going to pick up on that. I guess that's just the joke to them. They're like, haha, we know about this movie, and I bet nobody else will, and boy, will they be surprised when they look up that. Yeah, Laura, thank you. Anyways.
Tomato himself, he would say he got the name from a Stereolab album, which got its name from the film. Another example of plausible deniability. Number 2, Gargamel. Greg Solano, MFA in writing. If anyone is familiar with the Smurfs, then the name Gargamel might ring a bell. Gargamel is the antagonist who turns sentient beings into money. He is widely known as an anti-Semitic depiction of a Jewish stereotype. And as Ryder Rips pointed out, 4chan also uses the term Gargamel to describe Jewish people. A reoccurring theme that you'll notice is that this entire umbrella of Bored Ape Yacht Club trolling stems from 4chan behavior, which is based on inserting enough absurdity to create plausible deniability. Gargamel is smart, but he's a little sloppy. According to his Reddit post history, he posted a 4chan crypto meme before Bored Ape Yacht Club was even live yet, confirming that he's at least aware of the culture or uses 4chan. Greg Solano, or Gargamel, was a literature major in college and wrote his thesis paper on 2666, which is a book that takes place in Nazi Germany with a main character named after Nazi SS doctor Hans Reiter. He even expressed on his now defunct blog that he wanted to write a fiction novel that blends real history with imaginative events, which is similar to Roberto Bolaño's 2666. This could be a stretch, but I'm reminded here of your writing backgrounds. Do you think there's any parallel between your big conceptual breakthrough to design NFTs for what interests you, not some target demo, and the idea that in writing, sometimes the best stuff comes from channeling what you really want to see, not what some theoretical reader wants? Gargamel says, ever since the Bored Ape Yacht Club, we've seen like 1,000 different avatar collections come up, and a lot of them are really cool. But what we think was special, and what people could kind of read on top of ours, is that we didn't just throw 3D glasses onto apes. And we didn't have a long essay on exactly what this was, but we knew what it was. It's like Wittgenstein's let the unutterable be conveyed unutterably, or Hemingway's iceberg theory. We knew what this world was and why the apes are this way, and that somebody else might get a little tingle on their neck looking at it, thinking, yeah, this is kind of different. This isn't just random. In this interview, Gargamel literally just confirmed that Bored Ape Yacht Club is his medium for creative writing. First, the quote is cryptic, but it makes a lot of sense given the context of this project. Let the unutterable be conveyed unutterably.
I just keep saying wow.
Hidden meanings, fiction writing. Nah, man, they're just apes with 3D glasses. You don't understand crypto. In this statement, Gargamel quotes Ludwig Wittgenstein, an Austrian Jewish philosopher believed to have been the boy who went to school with Adolf Hitler from 1903 to 1904.
Interesting.
According to writer Kimberly Cornish in The Jew of Linz, she alleges that Hitler alludes to a Jewish boy who is believed to be Wittgenstein in Mein Kampf. Wittgenstein's entire body of work consists of cipher, cryptology, and solving puzzles, similar to how Bored Ape Yacht Club is.
I remember reading through Mein Kampf, like, in high school and stuff, because I think it was, like, first of all, it was available in the school, and second of all, it was just, like, I don't think, I mean, that was, like, before or during, like, the creation of, like, before, definitely before 4chan, so, and all this sort of sensationalized Nazism, like, online. But it was, obviously, it wasn't, like, oh, I like this, you know, it's just kind of like, oh, it's such a Hitler, it's a Mein Kampf, it's like, okay, I don't think I got anything out of it, obviously. It was kind of boring, it's just like, meh.
One massive puzzle designed to be cracked for the sole purpose of...
Have any of you actually read that book? Or anything?
Stroking their...
Answer in the chat. I gotta pee. It's the top of the hour. It's time to pee. I really need to come up with like a pee cut screen. I say that every time. Somebody needs to remind me. No, never read that shit. It was in the high school. Of course, I was into reading a lot of, like, material that I quote-unquote, like, shouldn't be looking at then, like books about witchcraft and, the Satanic Bible. You know, I just liked looking at things that my parents were like, you can't! Because if you look at those books, it's directly inviting Satan into your bumhole.
twisted fanfiction writing boner. Second, he states Hemingway's iceberg theory, which describes exactly what they're doing. Iceberg theory itself is also a 4chan meme. Greg Solano also has written a book titled The Cinematic Art of World of Warcraft.
I didn't know that. Has anybody ever watched iceberg videos on YouTube? It's just like a format to go over things like, I don't know, craziest or like most disturbing websites. And at the top, you start with something that's like somewhat benign, and then the deeper you go down, the worse and worse it gets. Like, and you can do all sorts of different topics with like iceberg stuff, you know. It's just a format of like looking at YouTube stuff, but I didn't know that format started on 4chan. It's not really related. Like, I mean, obviously this is related to that, but it's not directly related to this sort of Nazi connection. It's just quite literally like, hey, let's talk about like this topic, like scariest movies. At the top of the iceberg, we have, I don't know. Yeah, Cassie says I watch that shit all the time. Hey, Mark! My voice just cracked. Hey, Mark! Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark. I'll do my manly voice there. Football. Beer. Anyways. Good to see you. We're just connecting, you know, an NFT club to Nazis, you know, the usual estranged group of people on the internet who are somehow connected directly to Nazis.
To say he isn't a sucker for fantasy would be a flat-out lie. We know that Gargamel is a creative fantasy writer. We know that he wrote his thesis paper on a Nazi story. And we know that he wanted to create something similar, blending real and fake events. He literally quoted Ludwig Wittgenstein and Iceberg Theory, confirmed that there is hidden meaning, and that everything is deliberate in Bored Ape Yacht Club. Prior to Bored Ape Yacht Club, Greg Solano even stated he wanted to create a Lovecraftian-themed NFT project. And if you know anything about Lovecraft, he was a notorious white supremacist, often weaving his prejudices as the basis for his stories. The frustration that Ryder Rips and others have felt, myself included, with the public's perception of this criticism is immense. You can't begin to educate people on this when they're too ignorant to realize that they're being played. Bored Ape Yacht Club, in a way, is a social experiment in making fun of people who are easily influenced. Crypto bros and everyone who sucks off technocrats included. It is a commentary on the number going up forever, or the wag me crowd, which lives by the slogan, "We're all going to make it." This is a very real sentiment shared by thousands of people on the internet, which the founders of this project have profited off of immensely. All it took was celebrity worship, proper funding, fueled by a dystopian political agenda to get fascist propaganda on the world stage. Let me be clear, I'm not saying buzzwords just to say them. This is what's happening. 3. Gordon Goner, or Wiley Arano, also a creative writer. The third founder of Bored Ape Yacht Club goes by Gordon Goner, the same name Ryder used for the website, piecing this all together. This was done for SEO purposes, so that when you type in Gordon Goner on Google, Ryder's website pops up first. In an interview with Wiley from 2014, he stated, "The only book that I don't like is Mein Kampf, but I haven't read it." When asked innocently about books, he resorted to making Hitler jokes. Yeah, there's probably nothing to see here, right? This is just more proof that Wiley's attempt at edgy humor dates back to 2014. In an interview with Rolling Stone, Gordon Goner stated he chose the name because it sounded like Joey Ramone, lead singer of the Ramones. It should be known that Bored Ape Yacht Club's connection to the Rolling Stone is not random. It's through Neil Strauss, author of The Game, who is apparently writing about the subculture of Bored Ape Yacht Club. Gordon Goner is a full-phrase anagram for Drongo Negro. Drongo is Australian slang for stupid, and Negro means black. Drongo is also tossed around on 4chan and Reddit. It's not simply a random word. It is also conveniently a species of black bird. Another example of a hyper-specific double-meaning term or phrase in Bored Ape Yacht Club. There's not much else known about Wiley Arano, aka Gordon Goner, besides loose leads that allege he's a crypto-fascist. And his dad is literally Don Arano, portrayed by John Travolta in Speed Kills. Both Gargamel and Gordon Goner are writers and creatives, according to the CEO of Yuga Labs, Nicole Muniz.
Can you take me back to the origin story of Bored Ape Yacht Club?
It was almost exactly a year ago. Garga, who's one of the founders, texted Gordon with, hey, let's make a NFT. So Garga and Gordon were both really into crypto. They were really active in the community, but they are writers. That's actually their background. They are storytellers, they're creatives. And so like crypto was this thing that like they were fascinated by and they like loved, but they were never able to actively participate in.
Right. There was a barrier to entry.
Exactly,
right?
exactly, because it was technical.
Yeah.
And they're not technical. They're writers, they're creatives, they're storytellers. Like that's what they do.
So it's entirely critical that you understand the context of anything. So the issue with Bored Ape Yacht Club is that they're not providing any context. The context that they provided is that literally it's meaningless. They said that these are just apes in a swamp who like drawing penises on a penis wall. That's the official story of Bored Ape Yacht Club from the mouth of Nicole, the CEO. Like, that's it. Like, end. Done. Like, there's nothing else.
They called me with like, hey, we're gonna do this thing, and like, you know, just explaining the idea. And I kind of giggled and was like, oh yeah, I mean, but people are just gonna draw penises. And that was it. Like, I was just like, I didn't think anything of it. We hung up, but like the stupid thing that I said that I never would have thought about transformed into, well, what if they do draw penises?
Yeah.
And
wow,
where do people draw penises? And, you know,
what an
it turned
invigorating
into, well,
line of
bathroom.
thinking.
Right. You know, it's a toilet stall, and it's a dive bar, but it's not a dive bar. It's a yacht club that's a dive bar. But it's in a swamp, and it's gonna be this like future vision of Miami, and you know, it's all of these like bored apes, and they just created this like story and this world.
Let's play a game of I Spy. The cover of this Rolling Stone art is a direct reference to Hieronymus Bosch, who painted pictures like these in order to hide things in them. Spot.
I like that painting. Damn it. It's probably just referring to that painting or inspired by that painting, but please do not ruin that for me. Why is my Streamlabs misbehaving? I'm just trying to adjust some windows. Hold on. Gah! Driving me mad. There we go. Now my windows are fixed. Okay. Go.
The racist dog whistle.
Susan is like, what is happening? I mean, I think it's like
ape hands are ape.
There's so many details to going into, like, you already just kind of missed like the more important details of like what this is and what we're talking about, but I guess you're just in it for now. Oh my god, I am like Willy Wonka, and you are all like on this boat with me going down the river, and I'm just like saying some crazy riddle. And the knowing keeps on knowing, and the going keeps on going.
A racist dog whistle, alluding to the practice of Belgian King Leopold II cutting off Congolese hands for punishment in not working hard enough to produce rubber. The Congolese then started cutting off fellow African hands as it became a currency valuable to the Belgians in itself. Never underestimate the ability for Bored Ape Yacht Club founders to be this demented. Let's try this again. This is footage of the Bored Ape Yacht Club video game. See anything interesting? What's up with these bananas? Why is the bushel of bananas conveniently shaped like a swastika? 4. Sass, Zayshawn Ali, software engineer. The fourth founder of Bored Ape Yacht Club goes by Sass, and going off the theme of hidden meanings throughout their entire project, this is also deliberate. SA is the abbreviation for Sturmabteilung, and SS for the Schutzstaffel. SAS, or SASS, is the combination of the two primary Nazi military divisions. There are two possibilities that explain the behavior of the founders. Number one is easy. They are neo-Nazis. Number two is a bit more complex, and Ryder believes we need new terms to describe what's happening. In other words, this is an internet troll's wet dream. Post-ironic racism on the world stage. This means that this is a meme, but it doesn't look like one because there's nothing to indicate otherwise. This can also be described as pose law. It's impossible to know if someone is joking unless they add an LOL at the end of a message to indicate how it's supposed to be perceived. In other words, Bored Ape Yacht Club founders are layering on the irony of troll behavior to the point where it's just doomed. The best way I can describe it is beating a dead horse until the horse comes alive again and then dies again from the irony. February 4th, 2022, Katie Natopoulos, a writer at BuzzFeed, wrote an article covering the identities of the founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club. And where exactly do you think she got her information from? Ryder rips. However, she stated, Solano and Arano don't appear to have any particular red flags, which, as we know, is a flat-out lie. Pressured by Guy Osseri, Kate Natopoulos ran a softball story in an effort to save face. The more degenerative side of 4chan, including white nationalists, enjoy participating in the cult of Kek, a metaphorical fictitious religion that worships Pepe the Frog. Think of it as a tribe on 4chan who considers everyone else not in the know as normies. They wave the Kekistan flag, which is an exact ripoff of Prussia and Nazi Germany's Wehrmacht symbol. Their mission? Troll the liberals at all costs through meme warfare. By having shared symbolism and jokes, it is a way to communicate or dog whistle to other members that they, quote, embrace the principles of chaos and destruction that are central to alt-right thinking. The term Kek originated from World of Warcraft when
Pepe the Frog sort of trolling thing is like another, I'd say, modern archetype. It's the jester, it's the joker, it's the dark, very, dark, chaotic trickster and joker. The very dangerous, dark, demented type.
A horde player types LOL to an alliance, LOL is then translated into gibberish spelling out Kek. This is because the two opposing factions in the game can't communicate with each other unless they are on the same faction. It just so happens that Kek is an Egyptian god that looks like a human with a frog head, hence Pepe. And guess what Kek was the god of? Darkness and chaos. Sound familiar? Surfing the Kali Yuga was not the only surfer innuendo that the alt-right adopted as lingo. In fact, they also used the word cowabunga to signify their alt-right beliefs to fellow members of the alt-right. It just so happens that one of Bored Ape's founders' wife had—
This is some fucking electric boogaloo shit. Like, motherfuckers with guns and fucking Hawaiian shirts. Like, I just don't like the style of these people. It's very shitty. They just no style.
this exact lingo in her bio, which has now been deleted. And in September 2021, Bored Ape Yacht Club challenged the internet with a series of puzzles. Whoever cracked the secret codes would receive a Bored Ape Kennel Club NFT, a Bored Ape NFT, a Mutant Serum NFT, and 10 Ethereum. At the time, the value of these prizes added up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. This puzzle will demonstrate just how far the creators of Bored Ape Yacht Club are willing to go in order to play out their racist fantasy. This information is taken directly from this user's post on Medium. This whole puzzle started with a single stealthy tweet. somebody left a strange note at the bar. The image contains a message, "Come find me below," with the cipher text of U8JJ6. This is a keyboard cipher, where if you look at the keys below each letter on a keyboard, you see that it spells /Jimmy. Entering this after BoardApeYachtClub.com will take you to a new page, and you are able to load a puzzle game. Jimmy the Monkey is back on his bullshit again. In the clubhouse, the game is a 2D screen where you can click on rooms and interact with various objects. Most of the rooms contained a puzzle. The boat room contains a single interactable object in the room, which is a wall of dancing men. If you know a bit about ciphers, it's fairly quick to recognize that this is a Dancing Man cipher. The Dancing Man cipher is from Sherlock Holmes. Decoding the cipher reveals the following message. This isn't a puzzle clue. Suck on a banana, bozo. Love, Jimmy. This seemed to be a troll as it was not used in the final solution. The party room has 2 interactable objects in it. The first object is a dog collar with the numbers 0010 on it. This is just the ID number for the exact NFT that you would win if you were to crack the puzzle. The second object is a party poster containing song lyrics. The puzzle gives a selection of song lyrics sorted in alphabetical order by word, with one of the words being replaced by the word monkey. Solving this puzzle involves taking...
I mean, I like the idea of solving puzzles to, like, unlock things, but the fact that this is all, like, done dementedly, I mean, like, what a waste. Mark says, I remember the Hawaiian shirt Boogaloo Boys for, like, about 15 minutes in the Trump era. Yeah, it was impossible to be sure if they were another Proud Boys with a loud sense of style or a parody movement. Electric Boogaloo.
Taking each lyric word bank, identifying the song, and figuring out which part of the song the lyrics are referencing. You sort each word in that set of the lyrics in ABC order and figure out what word has been replaced with monkey. This results in the following troll message. Wasted your time on this one, stupid apes. Entering the pool area presents you with 2 puzzles, one located on the inflatable duck in the pool and the other on a drink menu located next to the bar. This puzzle presents a list of duck-themed clues and their answer length. Going through and solving all of the clues results in the list below. With this answer set, reading the first letter of each answer gives the phrase "cocktails are shaken," which is a clue for the puzzle located next to the bar. Using the hint from the previous puzzle, we now know that this menu list is an anagram of cocktails. In addition, the text at the bottom of the menu indicates something extra was added to the drinks, hinting to there likely being an extra letter not used in the cocktail anagram. With there being 26 menu items, it seemed highly likely the extra letters or the cocktails used every letter A to Z for ordering when done. It is quickly realized all the cocktails start with a unique letter A to Z that, when put in order and reading the extra letters, gives orange liqueur used in spritz. Final answer, Aperol. Upon entering the kitchen, a sheet can be found lying next to the sink. This puzzle provides instructions on what to do. Begin by identifying the dishes that are clued on the left and filling out the blanks on the right. The extracted letters, highlighted yellow on the sheet, spell the phrase Gibraltar's Barbary, which is referencing a specific monkey that lives on Gibraltar, the Barbary macaque. Final answer, macaque. In the library, you can start by clicking on the bust on the top of the shelf, which contains a puzzle scroll.
This is a lot of work.
This puzzle is a Mad Gab style puzzle as hinted by the title, Bus Dan Dush Elf, which, when read aloud, sounds like bust on a shelf. You can make 4 Mad Gab style phrases using one word from each column on the scroll. The output of each Mad Gab is its own clue to a word. This final output is yet again a Mad Gab where ooze 6 ciphers can be read as use 6 ciphers, a hint for the bookshelf puzzle. When you click on the bookshelf next to the fireplace, it shows you an enlarged version of the bookshelf. This bookshelf contains many different patterns throughout. As you start to group the patterns together, you will discover there are 6 separate puzzles using 6 different ciphers, as hinted in the previous puzzle contained in the shelf items. The monkey hands. There are 6 hands throughout the shelves using American Sign Language to spell weapon. Naval flags. There are 6 international maritime signal flags throughout the shelves that spell
Hope,
Nassau.
good to see you. Member
Bit binary.
for 13
there are 6
months.
groups
Thank you
of
so
books
much.
colored orange and green. These books are 5-bit binary, which provides 10010, 00101, 00001, 10011, 01111, 01110. These can be converted to their decimal equivalent of 18.5, 1, 19, 15, 14, which can then be further converted to letters to read reason. Clocks. There are 6 clocks through the shelves. Each clock face has a different time, with both hands clearly visible. Using the clock hands as a flag semaphore, you can obtain the letters to spell
Who's going to
titles.
fucking, who's going to do that? I would not. This is where I would leave. I would never think, like, sit there like, oh, it's like people holding flags. Like, what the fuck?
There are some books facing forward with their titles clearly visible, and after reading through the titles, you will notice some of the words are from the NATO alphabet. Echo, Mike, Bravo, Romeo, Yankee, Oscar, and when you extract the first letter of each NATO word, it will spell embryo. Morse code. Between each of the bookshelves is a repeating pattern of a lighter color. Each shelf is a separate letter spelled using Morse code. If you decode the Morse for each shelf, it will spell analog. Now that we have all the words extracted, we need to extract the final answer. Looking at the words for a moment, it can be seen that the first letter of each word can spell answer when ordered correctly. Since the first letter spelled answer, we extracted the last letters to see if it provides an answer to the puzzle. The extract is Guanan, which is a breed of old world monkey, and it's the name of Rene Guanan. The game room contained 2 objects you can interact with. The first one is a game called Jimmy the Asshole, which, after some playing, didn't appear to contain a puzzle. The second one is the game room puzzle. The flavor text for the puzzle is, there are lots of games to play here if you can figure out the rules. It also has some pictures of Hangman and Tic-Tac-Toe. These are big hints for what you are looking for and what the solution is going to be. The solution for this puzzle involved taking each puzzle string and figuring out the puzzle rules that encoded the text. Here is one example. There are a lot of P's, so we want to analyze that first. You start by separating each line by P. We are looking for game-related words, so we can guess the 2 words here are card and canasta. With these 2, we can deduce that the rule for this puzzle is to replace the first letter with P, which can then be reversed from the cipher, which gives the following clue: card worth 50 in canasta. The answer to this clue is Joker. However, we aren't done here just yet. Now we need to apply the same rule we discovered, replace first letter with P, to this answer to get a new.
As much as this is exciting, I'd like to get to the end of this. Like, how deep does this, like, game go?
Answer out related to games. Applying the rule to Joker results in poker, the actual solution to this puzzle line. Here is the rest. Taking the first letter from each solution, you get the following phrase: Drooper's apartment pal. Drooper is a character from the Banana Splits, and his apartment pal is Bingo. Bingo is an ape, so we can confidently determine the answer is Bingo. The attic is one of the more difficult puzzles, and before we dive into it, we first have to talk about the skeleton in the crawl space. The skeleton in the crawl space has a bunch of 3-letter phrases and some numbers, with the flavor text of NTH plus EAT. We know that we're trying to combine the phrases to spell words, with the numbers most likely being the length of each word. There's really no approach other than maybe looking up words that start with or words that end with, but the best place to start was realizing that NTH and EAT were clued as being connected and could spell N, the, at. After that, it is mixing and matching until you get something good out. The output you get is Anastasia Steele really loves the hexes used in the attic. This is a reference to Anastasia Steele from 50 Shades of Grey, which is referencing that the hex color codes in the attic are gray codes. This is basically a second hint for Bought It, which you can see in the attic section below. The attic starts with an image with some pixels and flavor text about having to feel your way around in the dark. This is a reference for being blind and hinting towards the pixels being braille. The phrase you get out of using colored pixels as braille dots: beginners always unlock dim old tones. If you take the first letter of each word as hinted by the word beginners, you get Bought It, which is a type of cipher. This is the one puzzle you can right-click and export the image, and it just so happens to be SVG. So we can extract the hex color codes accurately for the next step as hinted by the skeleton puzzle. Extracting all of the binary codes out and removing the lead 0, you get the following. Using Bought It encoding on the binary, you get the following. The only interesting thing we get is Calamar, which is another type of cipher. This suggests that our extract is valid, but the rest of it is cipher text. We can then use the string with a Calamar transposition solver, but without a key, it was just a bunch of guessing words as a key. Solvers of this puzzle got stuck here for a while until it was noticed that attempting some auto solves on the grid, assuming 6 columns instead of 8, resulted in the final 8 letters looking like a scrambled version of Visionaire. Given the first set of data gave us Calamar, and having it almost end with Visionaire now, another type of cipher, was too likely to be a coincidence. Putting some effort in manually with a 6-column assumption, you're able to get the following. Using Calamar key of 412563 or 214563 gives an output that spells Visionaire at the end, giving find. Ludwig attempted to prove that all people have a common origin, but that African people...
Okay, now we're getting to the end.
Using Bought It encoding on the binary, you get the following. The only interesting thing we get is Calamar, which is another type of cipher. This suggests that our extract is valid, but the rest of it is cipher text. We can then use the string with a Calamar transposition
I guess we have to credit this guy for taking
solver,
us through this
but
entire
without a
thing
key,
to
it
explain
was just a bunch of guessing words as a key. Solvers of this puzzle got stuck here for a while until it was noticed that attempting some auto-solves on the grid, assuming 6 columns instead of 8, resulted in the final 8 letters looking like a scrambled version of Visionaire. Given the first set of data gave us Calamar, and having it almost end with Visionaire now, another type of cipher, was too likely to be a coincidence. Putting some effort in manually with a 6-column assumption, you're able to get the following. Using Calamar key of 412563 or 214563 gives an output that spells Visionaire at the end, giving us the following possible strings. Cutting Visionaire off the end and taking the remaining letters, we try to decrypt the cipher using Visionaire and testing keywords relating to Bored Apes and the puzzle. Eventually, they landed on the following: Australopithecus. At this point, it's time to solve the final solution. Taking the answer from each puzzles and sorting them in ABC, we get the following words: Aperol, Australopithecus, Bingo, Guanan, Macaque. If we examine the answers, we can extract even more information about what they mean. Aperol is an orange liqueur that only got popular after World War II. This answer is different than all the others, considering it is a drink that is meant to be ingested. Going off that theme, perhaps this is a metaphor for taking the red pill, as it sometimes appears red in color. Aperol also just has the word ape in it. Australopithecus. Of all the different possible answers they could have chosen, they landed on Australopithecus. Here's a little anthropology for you. In 1931, Ludwig Cole Larsen joined the Nazi Party and later undertook an expedition to German East Africa in search for a primitive man. In 1938 to 1939, he discovered Australopithecus afarensis at Laetoli without realizing the importance of his find. Ludwig attempted to prove that all people have a common origin, but that African people remained in the state of primitive man, while the Aryan race had developed. Such scholarship was at odds with most anthropological concerns of the day in Africa. He then later lost his position as professor in the course of the denazification after the war. Cole Larsen is not highly regarded amongst contemporary East Africanists. Bingo. Bingo the Gorilla is a major yet final antagonist in the 2019 direct-to-video horror comedy film The Banana Splits Movie. Bingo and his friends are animatronics created by Carl to entertain children as the Banana Splits. However, after the show is cancelled, Bingo and his friends start a killing spree. You want to know something even creepier? Bingo only has 3 lines in the movie.
I wonder how the show's gonna end. Time's almost up. Time's almost up.
Bingo's last and most famous words. The only words Bingo ever says sounds just like accelerationism.
Oh, that's a bingo.
Is that the way you say it? That's a bingo.
You just say bingo. Bingo! How fun!
Guanan has double entendre. He's the father of traditionalism, bringing the Kali Yuga to the west, and Guanan is also a species of monkey. Macaque also has double entendre. Macaque is a racial slur and a type of monkey. By definition, there is a clear distinction of what type of monkey both Guanan and macaques are. They are part of the Old World classification of monkeys. In 2006, a Virginia senator was called out for using this slur. With close ties to Virginia, the founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club would definitely be aware of this political disaster.
You too have gotten in trouble with words that you've uttered. Let me bring you back to August 11th. You were at a campaign stop and a young man who was videotaping it for the web campaign was there also. Let's watch.
This fella here over here with the yellow shirt, Macaca, or whatever his name is, he's with my opponent. And let's give a welcome to Macaca here. Welcome to America and the real world of Virginia.
And here's a young man, S.R. Siddharth. He's a resident of Virginia, an American citizen, straight-A student at Fairfax High School, now goes to the University of Virginia. Critics say that macaca is a racist slur and that you used it because he was dark-skinned. What did you specifically mean when you said, welcome to America and the real Virginia? Why did you use those words toward a dark-skinned American?
Tim, I made a mistake. I said things thoughtlessly. I've apologized for it as well I should. But there was no racial or ethnic intent to slur anyone. If I had any idea that word, and to some people in some parts of the world, world was an insult, I would never do it because it's contrary to what I believe.
Well, where did
who
the
I
word
am.
come from? It must have been in your
just made
consciousness.
up. It's just made up word.
My theory is that the primate answers of this puzzle are a direct reference to the founders of the project, and Aperol could be seen as the red pill. The Boogaloo Boys were born on the weapon board of
here we
4chan,
go.
known as K. Think of them as paramilitary incels, or Chan LARPers. They can be classified by their Hawaiian shirts and absurdist meme styles to make anyone who calls them out look insane. It can be a very effective tactic when trolling. This Bored Ape Yacht Club shirt is an exact Boogaloo Boy Hawaiian shirt used to LARP by 4chan users. This is Ape 1488. The number 14 is a neo-Nazi dog whistle. It is a direct reference to the white supremacist slogan known as the 14 words. We must secure the existence of our people and future for white children. The slogan was coined by David Lane, a member of the white supremacist terrorist group known as The Order. The number 88 is white supremacist alphanumerical code for HH, which stands for Hail Hitler. 1488, which is also included in the ADL database or the Anti-Defamation League, is a combination of these two hate symbols.
But the fact is, guys, I've been on the internet 20 years. I know pretty much about every single different slur that's in the English language and a few in other languages as well. So not only do I understand all the slurs, I also understand the euphemisms like 1488.
Here is where it gets really dark. What do you see on this ape? No, not the bloodshot eyes. This ape is wearing a prison outfit with the numbers 0198. 07. If we take out the zeros, a practice in cryptography called null padding, we are left with 1987, which we can deduce is a year. You see, 1987 is a reference to the year that Rudolf Hess, a Nazi hero, died in the Spandau prison in West Berlin as a result of his conviction during the Nuremberg trials. It was destroyed the same year to prevent it from becoming a neo-Nazi shrine. Not everyone who has a Bored Ape is aware of the inherent racism. Let me point your attention to the sales activity tab. If someone
I believe there's genuinely people like buying this shit, like just it's popular.
Someone is selling an ape, they set the price. Interestingly enough, there is a pattern of selling apes for variations of 88 Ethereum, ending prices in 0.88 or 0.14. This is a cut and dry example of esoteric racism. Ape 6969 features the same prison jumpsuit and a Prussian helmet with a shit-eating grin. This is a troll hidden in plain sight designed to mock everyone who looks at it. The odds of Ape 6969, which is a troll in itself, having both the prison jumpsuit and a Prussian helmet is statistically near impossible. Apes in the Bored Ape Yacht Club project are adorned with various characteristics. This can include clothing, accessories, eyes, faces. Anything you see on these apes can be randomly generated to produce the final product that we see as an ape. By design, some of these characteristics are more rare than others, which means more desirable, which results in a higher price. Some of these characteristics are harmless, but there is a definite through line with one characteristic in particular: headwear. The Prussian helmet is known as a Pickelob, which is a reference to the German Empire from 1871 to 1919. The Vietnam era helmet features an Ace of Spades card attached to the helmet, which was a custom American soldiers started in World War II, but continued in Vietnam. In Vietnam, however, American soldiers would leave an Ace of Spades on dead Vietnamese soldiers. The card in the Bored Ape helmet has a letter J on it, which would indicate a Jack of Spades, not an ace. The founders of this project are not sloppy writers and wouldn't get history wrong if it meant they could include yet another racist reference. Maybe this explains it. Based on a 1938 decree in Nazi Germany, every Jew in Germany had to carry an identification card marked with J for Jewish at all times. The sushi chef headband is a Japanese headband known as a hachimaki. Hachimaki can have different Japanese characters on them to mean different things. There are 6 variations that are the most popular and commonly used. Bored Ape Yacht Club went with kamikaze to indicate Imperial Japan's suicide pilots. A sushi chef would never wear this headband. The safari helmet is a British or European pith hat used by the British Empire in colonizing Africa. And Belgium in the Congo, led by King Leopold II, who, as you know, cut off Congolese hands. The kami hat is known as a ushanka, and with the sickle and hammer, it represents the Soviet Union or the USSR, worn during World War II while Russians were commanded by tyrannical leader Joseph Stalin. The fez is a potential reference to the Ottoman Empire, but there's also such thing as a Nazi fez. With all of these helmets and headwear, one can see a clear picture of Chan culture's fetishization of power and dominion of those they deem weaker. October 2021, music manager Guy Oseary, founder of management firm Maverick, who represents Madonna and U2, acquired representation of Bored Ape Yacht Club. This would include securing book deals, music...
Yeah, Madonna these days is... I don't know. She's into lots of weird stuff, though, so it's
television,
not surprising.
video games, and even movie integrations. This was a power
Always
play
has
for
been,
Bored Ape
frankly.
Yacht Club because it legitimized funding and star power behind the project. With the connections of Guy Oseary, Bored Ape Yacht Club now had a way to control the media messaging around their project.
The project obviously has so much hype and so much support. There's also been criticism. Some people connected some of the images to racist tropes. I'd love to give you the opportunity to respond to that criticism.
It's apes, because aping in is very much a nod to this community, to crypto enthusiasts, to people who aped in early. So the story is about them. One of the founders is Jewish. One is Turkish.
So?
One is Pakistani. One is Cuban. Guy Oseary, who's one of the partners that came in later last year, is Israeli. I myself am Cuban, and I'm actually first-generation American.
So that doesn't...
The idea
So what?
that
You're
we're
making what you're making.
neo-Nazis or alt-right is offensive, it's hurtful, it's totally untrue.
That's really personal to you, that criticism.
The idea that you can't be racist, or even ironically racist, because you're ethnic is the saddest excuse I've ever heard. And this interview is
I don't know, if this is fake, then why do all their little codes and puzzles, like, why do the answers to all of that, like, why do they relate the answers that relate to something, like, from Nazi Germany or Nazi anything? Like, why does it relate to it? Like, it's not just picking out a weird pattern that isn't there. It quite literally does that. It's like... Whatever.
By Guy Oseary. Here he is pictured with the founder of D3, and this woman looks oddly familiar. Guy Oseary is even referred to as the fifth ape, a reference to the fifth Beatle. When Ryder launched GordonGoner.com, Guy Oseary went off the deep end. Ryder Rips described to me a 2-hour phone call consisting of Guy Oseary screaming at him to stop digging into the project. After Ryder explained the symbolism to Oseary, he replied with, "Who am I to judge what art is?" And remember that Rolling Stone interview I mentioned? Gordon Goner stated, "Are we the Beastie Boys of NFTs? Because right after our initial success, it felt like the Beastie Boys going on tour with Madonna. Everyone was like, who the fuck are these kids?" The Rolling Stone article then states, funnily enough, Madonna's longtime manager, Guy Oseary, signed on to rep the foursome about a month after Goner made this comment to Rolling Stone. It's just so ironic that Bored Ape Yacht Club would go on to partner with Madonna's manager, Guy Oseary. Here's the family tree of Bored Ape Yacht Club. Greg Solano and Wiley Arano are from Miami. They met later in life at a bar arguing about literature. Karem Adelaide and Zayshan Ali went to University of Maryland together. Greg Solano also attended University of Maryland, but would go on to get his MFA at University of Virginia. The P.O. Box of Yuga Labs is in Alexandria, Virginia. The CEO of Yuga Labs, Nicole Muniz, went to high school with Wiley. Mark Andreessen is the funding, Guy Oseary is the management and PR, and it's not a far stretch to say that Neil Strauss is their Rolling Stone media connection. He is also writing a book based on Bored Ape Yacht Club. Guy Oseary and Neil Strauss go back to 1998, when Guy Oseary was featured in the credits of Neil Strauss's biography on Marilyn Manson. One of the most mind-boggling parts to this ongoing story is celebrity endorsement. Everywhere you look, a new celebrity flaunts their hideous Nazi propaganda. I wouldn't expect them to know any better, but there's something going on underneath the surface. I know most celebrities are denser than a cement block, but you can't convince me they would all spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on these JPEGs just because of hype culture. So what's actually going on? In a Twitter Spaces video, Ben Baller, a celebrity jeweler, describes the process of receiving a Bored Ape.
Real talk, not once, not twice, 3 times I've been offered a Bored Ape through MoonPay. I had Adidas hit me up, my DMs, you know, on Instagram. Hey man, do you want to close Facebook with us? Blah, blah, whatever. Told you own a Bored Ape. No, I fucking don't. You know, hit me up. And it's just, I don't know what it was, but the fact that some of these super top tier all-star NBA players had them, and I was like, yo, this is all cap. I mean, there was an NDA, they tried to send my agent and shit too, you know.
I mean, there's definitely NDAs and everything there, but I'm you know, positive there's, you know, something.
No, what I'm saying is for me, if I was to accept, you know.
They
wanted you to not disclose that they wanted you to not disclose that they had purchased the ape for you.
That's
That's
weird.
You know what the craziest thing about that is that a lot of celebrities who are going into this, they're probably just stoked to get the ape, and they don't even realize a lot of them probably don't consult their legal and shit like that beforehand. But they're actually asking you to commit fraud on their behalf.
That's right. MoonPay has celebrities sign NDAs or non-disclosure agreement contracts revealing how they received the ape.
I just got my first NFT.
Oh, you did? What was it?
Through MoonPay.
Okay.
MoonPay, which is, I'm figuring, I did my homework.
Okay.
MoonPay, which is like PayPal, but for crypto.
In fact, the celebrities aren't even buying them, and they're lying through their teeth about why they bought them, all while committing fraud on MoonPay's behalf. Receiving a Bored Ape as an endorsement and not explicitly stating that you were compensated violates the Federal Trade Commission's laws. So next time you see a celebrity show off their Bored Ape, you can see who's a puppet taking advantage of their audience, all while unknowingly contributing to an apocalyptic political ideology backed by the technocratic elite. You may be asking yourself, who designed these apes in the first place? Surely they would be the ones responsible for drawing the racist imagery, right? Currently, it is believed that there are 6 artists on the Yuga Labs team. However, there was an artist in particular that provided the base layers for the apes. Her name was Seneca. When confronted and shown the finished designs, she claimed she did not even recognize the final product and was shocked at the characteristics she saw. Seneca described payment from Yuga Labs as not ideal. After all, they were rolling in millions of dollars and she wasn't even getting a slice of the pie. However, it is speculated that Seneca received a $1 million bonus from the company after media outlets front-ran her story. At the end of the day, Seneca, a very talented artist, was not responsible for this imagery. The Bored Ape Yacht Club project represents a sinister commentary on people's eagerness to hop on trends and projects just because it's in the spotlight. I say this is an ongoing story because on April 30th, 2022, 1 year after launching Bored Ape Yacht Club, Yuga Labs launched a metaverse called Other Side. If the date sounds familiar, it's because it's also Hitler's death day. The sprites available in the video game that doesn't exist yet are called codas, spelled with a K. In music, coda with a C means the end, and obviously the theme of transitioning from life.
Honestly? Oh shit. Oops.
For drawing the racist imagery, right? Currently, it is right now.
Honestly, the more we look into this, the more it actually creeps me the fuck out. Like, groups of people, like, the way their mentality can go, like, it scares the shit out of me sometimes. I've seen some good people do some crazy shit just because they're, like, dedicated to certain groups.
Her name was Seneca. When confronted and shown the finished designs, she claimed she did not even recognize the final product and was shocked at the characteristics she saw. Seneca described payment from Yuga Labs as not ideal. After all, they were rolling in millions of dollars and she wasn't even getting a slice of the pie. However, it is speculated that Seneca received a $1 million bonus from the company after media outlets front-ran her story. At the end of the day, Seneca, a very talented artist, was not responsible for this imagery. The Bored Ape Yacht Club project represents a sinister commentary on people's eagerness to hop on trends and projects just because it's in the spotlight. I say this is an ongoing story because on April 30th, 2022, 1 year after launching Bored Ape Yacht Club, Yuga Labs launched a metaverse called Other Side. If the date sounds familiar, it's because it's also Hitler's death day. The sprites available in the video game that doesn't exist yet are called codas, spelled with a K. In music, coda with a C means the end, and obviously the theme of transitioning from life to death or crossing to the other side. Their new metaverse also features Stonehole Jackson, a reference to the Confederate leader Stonewall Jackson, and Plot 1 is owned by Emperor Tomato Ketchup. Along the way, Ryder Rips was able to open the eyes of thousands of people by organizing the information and explaining the full context to the best of his ability, knowing all too well that the barrier to entry of this information is diving down the deep rabbit holes of white supremacy, the alt-right, and 4chan. But now, one thing's for certain. He was correct in telling me that Bored Ape Yacht Club is the biggest troll in internet history. Now that you know everything there is to know about Bored Ape Yacht Club's cute little social experiment, what can we do about this? Well, as it stands right now,
Probably not
the
much.
founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club operate relatively unchecked. That's because
This was
there's
a
no
year
real
ago,
pressure.
though. I
Their
don't think
tactic
they're-
of using
I don't think this
plausible
is as popular
deniability
now.
and dumb excuses to deflect from the truth is about to change. Nicole Muniz, I really hope you had no idea this was going on. And if you didn't, that means your business partners strung you along because they think of you as a normie. It's unfortunate if
Probably.
you got roped into this. Guy O'Sari, we will not be silenced. That's all I'm gonna say. Gordon, Garga, Tomato, and Sass.
I also think these guys are pussies. Like, I think they're feckless for doing this. It's like, they are, bro. It's like, go fucking do, like, why are you making this girl you went to high school with speak for you on tape?
I want every celebrity, actor, athlete, and influencer to burn their fucking ape. I want to make such a fucking shitstorm that everyone from Steph Curry to Post Malone
All right.
to Jimmy Fallon is forced to act. You see, this little price tag is contingent on you, the market, the people. But in their minds, it's the normies, the sheep that made them rich. So I ask you, are you a fucking sheep?
I'm not a normie.
I want each and
I'm
every
not
one
a
of you
normie.
to tweet hashtag burn BAYC on Twitter. Let's play
Okay,
their
I
game.
know I'm not on
Burn
Twitter.
means to destroy, but it's also something you can do with your NFT if you hold one. Not only will we sink Bored Ape Yacht Club because of their disgusting scheme, we will send a message. This message will be loud and clear. We
Dang, we should have watched this last year when it was
will not
fresh.
be manipulated. To piss off ape profile pictures and amplify his own research, Ryder created Ryder Rips Bored Ape Yacht Club. Ryder won a DMCA takedown request against Yuga Labs, solidifying the point that you can't copy an NFT. Ryder also set his royalties to 0%. In this case, it's truly not about the money. He is also creating Ape Marketplace, saving people billions of dollars a year in gas fees. Oh, and if you see my profile picture, don't be fooled. It doesn't contain any racist imagery. It's also from the Ryder Rips Bored Ape Yacht Club collection. Silly goose, you can't copy an NFT. And I think I'll call him Caesar. You can even use him as your profile picture, because we're about to take over.
Doo-doo-doo, and then some reference to a show at the end. Okay, so that was it. That was it. I believe it. Because, like, the examples that he showed of, like, riddles and codes to solve, like, all the answers of them were very pointed, like, Nazi things. So, yeah, the greatest fucking ruse and troll ever of the internet. I don't know how Bored Ape Yacht Club. So, anyways, back to this. Now that we're all a little bit freshened, we're back to Hong Kong. This just happened like this week or last week or this week, yeah. More than 20 people have reported burning eye pain. All these are NFT owners. No, I don't. Go away. I don't want to expand to see more stupid ads. What is an NFT? We now know. An estimated of 2,500 crypto enthusiasts gathered at a Kai Tak cruise terminal on Saturday night for a night of drinks, music, and mingling, and that just ended after 11 p.m. Adrian, a cryptocurrency trader who lives in Portugal, said a sharp, fiery sensation in his eyes awoke him around 4:30 the next morning after this big Bored Ape Yacht Club, like, 3-day, like, clubbing festival thing happened. These people started to, like, wake up with their eyes, like, burning, or had their eyes started lots of pain. So over the weekend, he saw social media posts from others reporting nearly identical symptoms: intense eye pain, vision problems, and irritated skin, similar to a sunburn. Chloe, another attendee, told the Financial Times that at 3 a.m. on Sunday she felt like her eyes were being burnt with spicy chili. Dr. Will Flannery and eye doctor, whatever, said that the symptoms began to describe on social media pointed to a classic case of photokeratitis, yeah, or damage to the cornea caused by ultraviolet light. The condition similar to snow blindness, the eye damage experienced by skiers exposed to UV light reflected off the snow. This is the shit I was telling you about how I would wear like sunglasses more in winter than in the summer because like that shit is bright. Anyways, the condition is serious but usually heals within 24 to 72 hours. No. Ugh. I don't like any sort of eye pain because you cannot like disassociate from that enough because it's right inside of your skin, like your skull, like next to your monad. I'm joking with that. Anyways, it's excruciating pain, he said. It's 10 out of 10 pain, but no, they won't go blind from this. Okay. It's not clear where attendees may have been exposed to the ultraviolet light. I think somebody fucked up and meant to buy a black light or just a UV colored light, but not an actual fucking, yeah, so images and videos from the event show a stage with a DJ booth where neon purple lights were directed at the crowd. In another room, tubular lights mounted on the ceiling shown to several decorative toilets where attendees paused to take photos. No, it's gotta be somebody fucked up and got the wrong fucking kind of light. So anyways, they told that they had the photokeratitis an eye clinic in Hong Kong on Monday. He was given lubricating eye drops and his symptoms. Okay, so he's given medicine and he feels better. So he still feels frustrated by the experience. He said he had paid the cryptocurrency equivalent of around the cryptocurrency equivalent of around like $1 million for the Bored Ape NFT, and with it a membership in a prominent community of crypto, a Nazi community. Although he has exchanged emails with Yuga Labs representatives about his ordeal, he feels that the company has not taken the situation seriously enough. Why would they? Why would they? Why would they take that seriously? Why? That's going to be funny. And I'm pretty sure because I haven't looked at this website before, I'm pretty sure this is why all these NFTs now have motherfucking blindfolds on them. I don't know if they've always been like that. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting to me. Anyways, Bored Ape Yacht Club became broadly known amid the craze for digital artwork. Gate Street, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we know about it now. And they have no comment. They're just kind of explaining what it is lightly. So there you have it, kids. There you have it. Isn't that special? Anyways, just another reason not to get into that. Yeah, these are just, I don't know, does this even like make art explain? Oh, that's just general. Board. Oops, that wrong board. Hello. Club worth. Let's see. NFT collection price floor today is 65,000. Oh, I don't. This is just. Is it losing value? I don't know. I don't fucking know. August 22nd of this year. Okay. Why are Bieber, Hilton, Adidas, and others being sued? They're being sued. While Sotheby's is one of the prime accusers of this case, celebrities like Justin Bieber and Paris Hilton have also been accused of promoting this collection without revealing their financial gains. Oh. Interesting. This is like a whole other... Okay, whew. I think my brain has had enough of that. Let's move on to Marjorie Taylor Greene real fast, which does not help us feel better at all. We're on to our last two topics, which are going to go pretty quick. I think that video took up most of it, which was pretty interesting. I mean, I hand it to the guy who put it together. That was pretty compelling, evidence against their intentions. I mean, it's pretty clear to me the way this company wants to associate, how they want to associate. Mark says an NFT is a certified, yeah. Yeah, it's like I explained earlier, it's kind of like buying a star or like a plot of land in Scotland and now you become a lord or a lady or something like that. It's kind of just a novelty. Alright, let me use the bathroom and we shall continue with MTG. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, my arms. They're so weak. So, my friends, Marjorie Taylor Greene's war with Republicans heats up. As you know, the Republicans are doing some infighting. Glorious, delicious infighting. I love it. And of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene has to put in her 2 cents. And she's literally just in today's topics because I didn't want to talk about Trump. Like anybody else, please. Somebody else. Why is everything just like on one side? Holy shit. Anyways. The rift that opened between Marjorie Taylor Greene and fellow Republican hardliners during the lengthy process of electing Kevin McCarthy as House Speaker earlier this year has only deepened with recent events exacerbating a growing mutual frustration. So on Tuesday, Democratic Representative Rashida? Anyways. Thank you, honey. Dinner, yay. Oh my god. I'm like barely eaten all day. I've had a protein shake and like 2 boiled eggs and that's it. I need like actual sustenance. What's on this plate? Ooh, there's like tuna, like tuna steak, broccoli, zucchini, squash, and tomato. Hell yeah. Anyways. Rashida was censored by the House after Republican Rich McCormick of Georgia brought forward a new resolution against her over what he called her promotion of anti-Semitic rhetoric. The measure passed despite the fact similar resolution to censor Tlaib. I fucking hate these people and their names. Like, how am I supposed to read this? Like, how am I supposed to sound that out? It's not their fault. The only Palestinian American in Congress has been under intense scrutiny since Hamas. Well, of course they have, because the American government really wants to support Israel right now and give them money. Same with Britain. Anyways, the Michigan Democrat, a longtime critic of Israel's treatment of Palestinians, mourned the deaths on both Israeli and Palestinian sides, but also condemned the Israeli strikes on Gaza, calling for a ceasefire to protect civilian lives. Green was one of the first Republican, was the first Republican to call for punishment against Tlaib. Yeah, against Tlaib, saying that last month that she would have introduced a resolution to censor her as soon as a new House Speaker was chosen. But once she was actually able to do so, her censor resolution failed, with 23 Republicans voting against it. Marjorie Taylor Greene putting something on the table, which is funny because they're all about free speech, right? They're all about free speech. And then when they hear something they don't like, then suddenly it's like, we gotta stop this. Tomato. Choose. The rejection angered Green, who on social media decried the feckless Republicans who didn't support her measure. On Monday, Green told reporters she was sick and tired of Republicans. She says Republican voters across the country are sick and tired of Republicans because they never do anything to hold this government accountable. I'm sorry, I'm just choking on my tomato here a bit because for a second it seemed like Marjorie Taylor Greene thought that she did things. I ran for Congress because I was fed up with the inaction of the people in my own party in Congress. You don't do anything. She does nothing but just frivolous, like, attempts to, like, impeach people. Like, all she does is waste time.
Republican voters across the country are sick and tired of Republicans because they never do anything to hold this government accountable. Republicans go out on the campaign trail and go on TV.
You don't do anything,
do their 5-minute
period.
hearing videos and post up on social media and say all this garbage about how they're going to fight it and stop it. I feel like many of the American people that think that Republicans in Congress completely fail them. I feel the same way, and I'm a Republican member of Congress.
Now, Green also warned Johnson that if he agrees to a deal for billions in aid to Ukraine, the MAGA base, she said, will be, quote, absolutely furious.
According to Green, the House should have passed a resolution because it condemned Tlaib for her enticement of October 18th illegal occupation. Oh. There is a pro-Palestinian protest, at the White House or the Capitol complex, and Marjorie Taylor Greene tried to say that it was an insurrection. Like, totally trying to pretty much shadow project on the fact that she was totally part of the January 6th, insurrection, which was actually an insurrection. I sense a resolution against Rashida Tlaib condemns her enticement of the October 18th illegal occupation of Capitol Complex, where hundreds were arrested, as well as her spoken for genocide of Israel. Nobody did that. She's not Hamas. What the fuck? That makes no fucking sense. Oh, hey, Morg. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that super chat. That's nice of you. Good to see you. You missed the whole thing we did on Bored Ape Yacht Club and their ties to Nazism. It was great. It's good to know that there's, groups of people out there like that in the world. Taking over people's subconscious. The usual. Anyways. The usual villains. The post-ironic neo-Nazi, 4chan groups, you know what I mean. So, anyways, yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I mean, she was totally loyal to Donald Trump during the whole insurrection, and yet she's trying to call that whole pro-Palestinian protest, an illegal occupation or some... It's just not, it's not going well. It's getting really heated for the Republicans because they're just not getting along at all. Anyways... Recently, in good news, moving on, because we're about ready to wrap up the evening. Which is, it's a bit early, I guess, but we still came together. So, trans news. Good trans news. Danica Roem is the first openly trans woman to be elected as Virginia Senator. And this is the most recent news in trans positions and being, holding political office. So I kind of got me thinking, because at first I'm like, who the fuck is this? I honestly have no clue. It's not like I have a secret list of all the other trans people in the world. You know what I'm saying? We all don't just naturally know each other. So I have no idea who she is, what she's doing. So I thought we'd just learn a little bit about it. And while I was thinking about it, I'm like, how many, political office holders are transgender, openly, And so, go on to good old Wikipedia, because you know how that reliable that is. Anyways, looking at a list of trans people that have held political office. There's quite a bit. Quite a bit here in America. And I tell you, everyone in Canada and all other countries in the world. Now, obviously, We're not going to be bothering ourselves to be familiar with every fucking one of these people. There's no way we're doing that. But it's nice to, you know, be somewhat familiar. So why don't we just jump in to the most recent breakthrough in America in 2003, where we start with Danica Roem, who is now a Virginian senator. So I found her website, and she just won this position, which is good, because I guess there was some drama there with that, but cooked tomatoes are so good. Like, really. Like, I love roasted tomatoes. So, about her. I don't know if I want to read all that. When I was a young child, my grandpapa... That's pretty much how it starts. When I was a kid, my grandfather told me. Anyway, she was a journalist for a while. Was an American journalist and politician. She's been a member of the Democratic Party. Obviously, she serves in the Virginia House of Delegates and has been elected to the Virginia state. In 2017 elections, Roem ran for a House of Delegates, winning Democratic primary for the 13th District on June 13th and the general election on November 7th. She is the first openly transgender person to be elected to the Virginia General Assembly, and in January 2018 became the first openly transgender person to be elected and serve in the state legislature in U.S. history. That's pretty fucking cool. Born at Prince William Hospital, raised in Virginia, child, had parents. Her father died by suicide when she was only 3 years old. Her maternal grandfather acted as a father figure. She lived in Virginia her whole life. And that's where she went to school there. She attended a Catholic high school in Fairfax, Virginia, and then went to her aunt and uncle's somewhere else. She went to St. Bonaventure University in New York to pursue journalism and studied there. She had a 1.1 GPA. Let's see that stuff. And then graduated with 3.4. Okay, that's... Alright, so she ended up... Did shitty at first and then overcame that. So, political positions. Why don't we go back to the website here? See what she has to say. Education. Let's see. I don't know what's going on in Virginia, but I'm just trying to take like a general look at like what's going on. Like just kind of a general look at what's going on as far as like what she sort of stands for people. Just because she's trans doesn't necessarily mean she's going to do great things. Or great things for trans people. Because there are transphobic trans people, believe it or not. I'm not saying she is, but, just because somebody's trans, I'm not going to be like, oh, they're instantly amazing. Yeah. Okay, so... Eliminating school meal shaming. Oh, feeding hungry kids and eliminating school meal shaming. Oh, fuck yeah. Dude, adults, grown-ass adults in schools do some fucked up shit to shame kids who, can't afford, lunch. Or if they try to get, eat lunch and they don't have money, then they're, treated as criminals and punished and humiliated. No student should be shamed for their parents' income situation. In addition, introducing anti-school meal shaming legislation in 2018. Okay. What? Worked with some guy to pass this legislation to prevent students from being forced to wear a wristband or do chores as a result of having school meal debt. That just doesn't even fucking, like, make any sense to me. Like, what, on what planet does it make sense to penalize a child for, like, having school lunch debt? Because their parents haven't, like, picked up their tab yet? Like, so you punish the child? Wouldn't you punish the parents by, like, feeing them? Like, hey, you didn't pay them this day, we're gonna fine you. Like, what happened to that? That is the most ridiculous, like, wear a wristband. For what? It's also meant to ban school officials from forcing students to throw away meals after they've been served. I've heard of stories like that, where, like, kids will dish up their food and then they'll find out that they don't have any money on their account, or their parents haven't put any money on their little school lunch account. And teachers and lunch ladies will make the kids throw away the food. It's like, what's wrong with the world when you do that to a child? Creating equitable, safe, and fun learning environments. Okay, go Queen. Danica is all about the children. Raising teacher pay, okay. Leading by example. For school debts and stuff. Being accessible to student constituents, okay. Transportation, okay. Transparency and accountability, healthcare, environment, gun violence, equity and inclusion tax policy. What do you have to say about healthcare? Expanding health insurance coverage, okay. Covering your healthcare needs, okay, go Queen. Alright, seems pretty good so far on paper. I don't really know much about her. Which state recently passed a law to tax the rich to provide free lunch? Because that's awesome. Meh. Cool beans, cool beans. Trump. Ugh. Not even. No, I don't even want to update on that. Yes, recently there's been some anti-trans bills that have passed. So Alabama, you know, can't biological males can't participate in. I don't know. I have so many, like, thoughts about referring to people as biological male or female. It's just really dehumanizing. Public school district enrollment, the charter school, you have to use, okay. Education. Great. Cool. I ran out of stuff. Wah, wah, wah. I've ran out of stuff. I don't have anything else. It's kind of a short... Oh, yeah, we're only 2.5 hours. Typically, we go like 3 hours, but I guess this is pretty good. I accomplished my goal today by just not having to do an update about Trump. I think that is just the best I can do. Hair, what is your problem? What is your problem here? So, if there is nothing exciting in the news to check up on, I think we may just call it a night. Is anybody releasing any content tomorrow? I think Morg might be releasing a video tomorrow. Cassie's like, I very much enjoyed the Trump-free stream. I mean, me too. I don't know. I'm just scrolling through my YouTube like front page, seeing if there's like anything released by anybody that we would want to do. The third, oh, yo, the third that's right, the third GOP like presidential primary debate just happened. We are, oh damn, we probably should have covered this today. We might do an extra stream next week or something, or just do this for next Friday. Yeah, let's do this next Friday. We gotta cover the third debate. Totally. We should have done that today, honestly. Why didn't I think of that? We're doing this next week, I think. It'll be a little old, but, like, we're still gonna keep up on it. That, or maybe I'll go live on Wednesday. I don't know. I don't like that. No, don't. That's better. Yeah, next week. Third debate. We're doing it. It'll be a week old, but we're gonna fucking do it, okay? But otherwise, I don't think there's really much else going on. Not that I really don't have the algorithm for actually watching stuff on my Jan Daemon account is just so random because I watch all of all the stuff I like to watch on YouTube through like another account, but like sometimes I look at what the algorithm like provides on here, and there's a lot of music for some reason, probably because I just like throw up music on there. Did a Mormon millionaire expose an I'm curious about that. I'm an ex-Mormon. Lots of ASMR. I love all like the synthwave and like vapor. Like obviously, I listen to vaporwave and like chill hop a lot, and synthwave. Hey, that's me. That's my music video. Yes, I make music, and I will be releasing. I got some songs that are gonna be ready some point. We'll say 2024 is gonna be a good year. ASMR, synthwave, vaporwave, chill hop, weird like ex-Mormon stuff. Like this is a great mix of things going on here. Hey, Lucifer. Anyways, yeah, let's call it. Anyways, good to see everybody. It was nice hanging out with all of you. That is some weird ass shit about the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Stay away from that and be careful what you get into, and stay away from crypto scams, okay? Please, please. Don't get into crypto. It's just not worth your time. You can't pay your bills with it. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But I hope everybody has a good weekend. I believe there's some videos preparing tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be there. Saturdays are kind of like busy for me, like if it's earlier in the day. The evenings not so much. But it's hard to like catch like premieres earlier in the day and stuff because like there's a lot of stuff I catch up on Saturday morning. Oh, hey, so a huge shout out and lots of love to our moderators of the evening, all the moderators that came to say hello and hang out. Like, thank you so much. Troll free today, which is great because I think we had enough of like the king trolls of the internet, I guess, whatever the Bored Ape Yacht Club thing does. We really didn't spend much time on the other side. I did not mean to I did not mean to get into that video. That's not what I had planned. But I'm kind of glad I did because the other subjects really didn't take. Yeah, poor Laura is like, I don't think my brain will recover from that. Yes, I just thought, I'd share the wealth. Anyways. Yeah, that shit was disturbing. Yeah, I'm pretty disturbed for life. Pretty much. Be careful what groups you get into on the internet, seriously. And be careful what t-shirts you buy at the secondhand store. Just saying. You could indirectly and accidentally be wearing Nazi paraphernalia. Let's listen to synthwave sometime. I love synthwave. It's definitely a vibe. I think I like vaporwave more. I really love vaporwave. It's kind of a sickness, actually, because, like, technically, it's just not good music. it's just like really, like, just kind of free roaming 1980s sounding music that like sounds like it's coming out of the PA system of a shitty like rundown mall. It's just with like lots of loops and snips. Like, it's really not that good of music, but I listen to it all the time because I love it so much. So anyways, good night, everybody. Have a good weekend. And next week, we're just going to do the GOP debate. It's going to be a week old. I really should have done it this week. Why didn't I do that, Jan? Why did you not do the debate today? That's okay. We'll do it next week. We shall do it next week. Anyways, have a good weekend. Stay safe. Stay rational. And steer clear of Nazis. Good night to you and to all a good night. Alright, good night, everybody. Bye. Mwah. Mwah.